What's going on, guys? It's Jay here, doing another live video. It's actually been a while, but I got some questions, and maybe you guys can relate to this too. So I'm going to upload this to my YouTube channel, my Faith Evolved channel, after the broadcast is done. I don't have 1,000 followers yet, so until I have 1,000 followers, I can't stream live. I'm on my GoPro 9 right now. It's being recorded in HD quality, but it'll be I'll upload it in 4K quality once I get it on. Once I get it on. So, anyways, life. This question has been kind of plaguing me for a while, and it kind of gives me a little bit of anxiety sometimes. And not as much as it used to. I mean, last year I was having existential depression and anxiety and just suffering with, thoughts of wanting to die or even suicidal thoughts, or at least ideation. Tried to check myself into a mental hospital, but because I said I wasn't suicidal, they said no. Actually kind of thankful it didn't happen. But I had a lot of, just thoughts about what's the point of my life? Is life just all about pain? Am I always going to feel pain? Am I always going to, whenever I start feeling better, am I going to start, wondering, oh no, I'm feeling better. How long is this going to last? Is it going to end soon? How long is it going to last? And that seems to, take the wind out of my sails, And I'm just an overactive thinker as it is, I overanalyze the crap out of everything. But the one question that keeps kind of bugging me and, bringing me down a couple pegs is the whole thought of life. What is not necessarily what is the point of life per se, but what are we supposed to be doing? You get up every single day, and you wake up, and you go, oh, it's another day. I gotta get up, take a shower, go to the bathroom, eat breakfast. Then I have to work for 8 hours, 9 hours, whatever it is, if you count lunch break. And then after that, I can watch some TV. I can go to the gym, work out. I could, maybe talk to some people, or maybe surf the web, go to Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, what else is there? Snapchat, Tinder, whatever you want to do, And, maybe you could watch some TV, or I think I already said that, but you could just, there's things you can do, And then there's this whole thing of, oh, I'm bored, what am I supposed to do? And then you look up things to do, you Google places, restaurants and entertainment venues, things that you can do with other people, maybe go to the bar, get something to drink, watch a sports event or something like that. All these things that we do, and then you realize that life is just a series of doing things. I gotta get up and I gotta do this, I gotta do that and the other thing. It's is that all what life is? I have this thing in me that goes, it seems like there's something missing. And then, of course, the whole spiritual side comes into it. You go, yeah, it's not just about this material world that we live in. This is the whole spiritual, realm, and there's the cosmos, and there's this infinite possibilities, and there's God, and God's all about love, and, he, wants us to enjoy eternal life. And then sometimes I think, man, what are we going to be doing for eternity? How many times can I watch the same movie or the same TV show, or and then once you get up to the heavens, how many times can I, fly through the universe, or create planets or whatever we'll be doing. I don't know what we'll be doing when we get there, but I just wonder. It seems like I'm missing that critical spark, that critical understanding of just being. And I hear spiritual people talk about it all the time, people that are enlightened or spiritual teachers, it's not about doing, it's about being. And that part is very elusive to me. And I can't seem to figure it out. I tried meditating, I'm doing A Course in Miracles and doing the lessons. I'm doing, I'm praying, I'm trying to do good things when opportunities arise that I can be of service to somebody. I try to do it. Sometimes I don't, because, I have selfish tendencies I'm trying to overcome, but sometimes I make the decision to do it. And I'm saying this not because I'm patting myself on the back or I want any accolades whatsoever, but just the other day I was on my lunch break and I was picking up something I ordered at Walmart, And as I came out of the store to bring the item to my car, I heard a voice calling out, and this guy on the ground, yelling, "Help! Can somebody come over here and help me out?" Like, he didn't have a very strong voice, so I could not really hear him. And he's behind some chairs off to the side. So I went over and saw this, elderly gentleman laying down on the ground in front of his walker. And I walked over to him, and I helped him up off the ground and brought him and his walker to the car and his groceries, and I dropped him off at the shelter down the street. And part of me felt, well, I feel like that was a good thing to do, good Samaritan type thing to do. But even then, I still question my motives for doing it. I question, it's like this question always comes up. It's like more like a feeling than a question. It's like, okay, people talk about you're not by yourself in this universe. You're part of God. You're a part of everybody else. And when you serve somebody else, you're serving yourself. And yeah, I feel good for a minute or two, maybe half an hour that I did some good deed, but that feeling doesn't stick around. I always go back to this default of, all right, what am I supposed to be doing next? Do I spend my whole life trying to help other people that are in need? Is that supposed to spiritually lift me up because I did that good deed? How many times do I have to do that? What secret formula do I have to go through or do to finally get to the point where I feel happy about my life or content or not wanting? So that's what the question is. Like, it's not necessarily like I get that we're alive because God wanted us to be alive. He didn't want to be alone, and he wanted to share his love with other people. And I'm starting to get that concept that you can't keep love to yourself. Love is not like something static. It's dynamic, so that when you get love, the only way that you can actually experience it in your life is to give it away. So I'm trying to understand that. But is that the purpose of life? If it is, then I've only scratched the surface of that, But as far as what we should be doing, I could just say, you know what, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to pack my bags, put it in my car, drive to some desert or some, or to the woods and just, camp out in the woods the rest of my life and just chill. I don't have to go to work. I don't have to do anything. Because people say, oh, you don't have to do anything. It's not about doing, it's about being. So I could just decide I'm not going to do anything. I'll sell everything I have, give it to the poor, get in my car, drive off to the sunset, never see anybody ever again. That doesn't sound right. So, I think we're supposed to do something, I just can't think of us not doing anything being right either. So, again, I have kind of like my mind tends to want to, think to the end result of everything, this is if we take this little freedom that we have, that we don't have to do anything, how far is my mind going to take it to the point of where I don't have any responsibilities? That doesn't seem right either. So I think there's some kind of puzzle piece that's missing. And even though I've gotten so much better since last year, I'm in a much mentally better place than I was last year, I still feel like I'm struggling to many times hold on to that stability that I have. And it's like if I and sometimes it feels like if I just let go a little bit, it's going to slip and I'm going to fall back. I don't think I'll ever go back to where I was before, where I was, just so desperately depressed, anxious, and just wanting to die because I was in so much pain mentally. But I feel like, I got to be doing something to actively work on getting my mind in a better place, actively work on renewing my mind and thinking positively and not latching on to negative thoughts and emotions. And that feels like you got to be doing something too. So I don't think, these spiritual teachers that I see on the internet, like YouTube and Facebook and stuff like that, they seem to say it's so simple. It's just be. You don't have to do anything. Just let love flow into you and yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you're talking to an INTJ over here. We are the least likely to believe in a higher power / deity, which is why I went through such huge crisis of faith many times in my life, because I'm so, analytical. We need proof. We need something we can test. And obviously you can't do that with God. And I have my reasons for why I still believe in God, even after everything I've been through, and actually why I think my faith is as strong as it's ever been in God. But that's part of where that's part of where my mind goes with this. It's like, if you watch my video a few videos back, if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, I have a video called "Why a Blind Man," he was born blind from birth. Why he is, in my opinion, one of the best examples or proofs for the existence of God. And you might be going, huh? Just watch the video. I think it's a pretty dang good explanation. But it's stuff like that. Like, I can't, if I didn't have the connection between my eyes and my brain, if I didn't have that link, then and I was born like that, I would never have any reference point to know what seeing is. I would just be completely blind, and even if you put brand new eyes in my head, if you put like a bionic eye or something like that, it's still not going to work. I don't have that link. So I won't have any idea of knowing what sight is. So you can try to explain it to me all you want. It's just not going to get through to me because I have no experience with it. So that's kind of how I feel about this whole spiritual stuff sometimes. Like, I have very few moments that I can say where like some supernatural miracle or some kind of like direct or somewhat indirect reply from the spiritual realms, whether it's an angel or God or Jesus, I don't know, but that I feel like I was responded to, like a prayer was answered or a question was answered. So I've had some fleeting experiences with that. And some people might go, oh, that's just a coincidence. Well, there's a couple that I know for a fact are not coincidences. But again, only I can know that for myself. I can't bestow that onto anybody else's mind or anybody else's belief system. But the thing that gets me through is just realizing, if there's someone who's blind, who has no idea what sight is, and you can never explain it to them, and the only way they can ever really know what sight is to actually experience it, then I kind of juxtapose that against the whole concept of a spiritual, realm that I have no concept of. My brain cannot comprehend what it actually is and what it's consisted of, or the kind of things you can do there. Like, we only have 5 senses here, maybe 6 if you count thinking a sense, but we only have 6 senses, and there's probably tons of other senses that you can have in the spiritual realm, but we have no way of knowing what they are, and maybe those senses augment the experience they have there and give more meaning to life, more value to life. And maybe there's other, I also kind of juxtapose that against concepts, because again, our human finite minds can only think of so many concepts that they may be in our worldview, in our existence. And there's probably other concepts and ideas and just, inventions, whatever you want to call it, that exist in the spiritual realm that we can't even conceive of here. No eye has seen, no ear has heard, It's that kind of thing. So that's what kind of gets me through. It's like, what if the whole purpose of life and what I'm supposed to be doing with my life is something I can't even comprehend as a human being? And, that's part of what got me through my whole nearly suicidal, phase last year, was just, let me just try to get through this just out of sheer curiosity to see what's going to happen if I make it through it. There's so many stories of people, and this was the scary part for me, was there was stories of people that were healed of their mental maladies and healed of their depression and anxiety. And then there were some people that gave into it and committed suicide or ended up getting into a mental hospital, or just their whole life was just, the rest of their life was ruined because of it. And I was at the point where I could have gone either way. And that's the scariest crap right there. And just the fact that some people just don't make it. Some people just don't make it. And I'm talking about in a physical sense, in a mental sense, not eternally. I'm just saying here, there are some people that just never recover. They get sick and they don't get better. That could have been me. And that was scary as hell, And, just now that the fact that I have gotten better has given me so much to hold on to, even though sometimes I feel like I'm holding on to a ledge of a cliff. It's like, I still feel like I have something to look forward to. If it's gotten this much better, maybe it can get that much better from here to a much better place that I'm even at now. To a place where I'm happy, genuinely full of love, joy, peace. And if I get to that point, then I'll have a lot more to give. So I think even right now I have a lot to give, just to someone who's on the edge and on that precipice looking straight out, where they could just jump and end it all, or turn around and turn back and give it another shot. And I'm glad that, I just kept going, even though I had zero hope that it was ever going to get better. I had no proof, no hope. It was all just, well, let's just see what happens. And that's almost kind of an answer to my own question of, like, what's the whole point of life? What is the point of existence? Is I have no freaking clue. But let's just see what happens. That's my answer to that question. Let's just see what happens. That's my answer so far. I'm assuming there's more to it than that. But, I got nothing else, folks. That's it. So I don't know if this has been helpful in some weird way, but if it has, make some comments, like this video. God bless.